didn't have any students. Oh, and we're live. So I figured, what the hell? I've been fighting the flu and all that, so I said I'll move it ahead an hour earlier, so maybe we get off an hour earlier.
Well, I was really intrigued by your idea, and if we'd have got Eric Kane on, that would have been
That would have
really
been amazing.
interesting.
And that would have got that would have gotten a lot more viewers too because it's Eric Kane.
Yes.
So that was actually something I wanted to kind of bring to the table. What did you guys think about the interview with Tito and Janelle Bonanno and TB and Eric Kane the other day?
Um, that's actually a very good question, and it's something I have a hard time with. Because I'm a big fan of Greg Tito, right? I think he's a nice guy. I think he's a good person. I think he's genuinely trying to do what's right. I absolutely hated how he brushed off everything Total Biscuit said. I I had a hard time with that.
I had a hard time in general just with him.
Did you?
Well, yeah, because they were making I can't remember everything that he was saying because it was like a because it was like a day ago, and it's just I don't know. Let me just regain my thoughts because when Total Biscuit finally came off the fence, I was like, woohoo! I was like, this is the moment.
Total Biscuit nailed it, right?
Absolutely, I think TB nailed it, but I think Tito raised some decent points in it and whatnot, but at the same time, he's trying to play the middle field for the journalistic side, which I can respect him for. He's trying to find the moderate voice on that side.
And I'm with you. I can respect him for that, right? I
Yeah.
didn't like how he basically ignored everything Total Biscuit had to say, right?
Yeah. Well, I mean, in context, he's essentially, game journalists are kind of losing their job to people like TB.
Yeah, which actually I really really enjoyed that dynamic, right?
Well, I mean, they've been in the same building together. They've had a panel together. I think Tito moderated a panel with TB at Escapist Expo last year.
Really,
Because actually, that's where I've personally met TB at Escapist Expo.
I hope he's as nice of a guy as he seems.
He
Oh,
really
did you see that Leigh Alexander tried to tweet him some article while he was just recovering from surgery?
I did not.
I did
And
not. Case that's effed.
well, she apologized shortly after, but it was such a shit apology.
Yeah, that's just. Oh, that's.
It's
Well,
it's like Intel's sorry, not sorry.
Yeah.
yeah. Well, that was a cool. That was a cool apology because that was on our side, right? And I know that's the wrong way to look at it, but
Oh,
um,
this thing is all about sides now. It is a
yeah,
war.
and that's unfortunate that it's become sides.
Yeah.
They
But
wanted it.
with that said, I do greatly appreciate Eric Kane putting together that podcast. And I thought it was pretty well done. It got a little boring at times, right? They kind of spun in circles for a little while, but it was insightful to listen to talk, right? And to listen to what's her name?
Janelle Bonanno. She actually works for the Escapist as well. Either the Escapist or Defy Media, one of the two. I know she works for the Escapist because I've seen her as well.
So in listening to them go and talk and basically listening to Total Biscuit just BTFO them was kind of cool. Well, at least Tito, right?
Yeah.
But and I actually gained a lot more respect for Kane than I already had. Right, I already respected the dude's writing and all that, and I've always thought he was pretty awesome. But
Well,
I
I
rated him
gained
pretty well.
I gained more respect for him today in the King of Pole thing, where he was pretty much saying that celebrities and people in these casts are drowning out the smaller sort of voices of Gamergate. That was something that he was talking about today. The personalities being so big that they're dwarfing, those opinions, and that's something that we've been talking about quite a lot.
Yes, and I actually didn't listen to King of Paul's stream. I laid in bed most of the day and didn't do much. But if he said that, good on him, right? Like, and he's
Right.
right. Go ahead.
Eric Kane did say that, and I was just like, yeah, that's now I properly respect you. You know, you're talking, you're trying to. I mean, the fact that he entertained us, you know, even though he was booked, and I think he would come on, and I hope he would, because as I say, your document was pretty interesting, and I'd love to see something come together on that.
We will talk about that. I'm hoping to have more than 2 viewers before we do, right? But I do want to talk about that because I want to get your guys' thoughts on it. Um, but good on him, right? And he's right. The problem is, in my opinion, at least one of the problems is you have people like, King of Paul and Roguestar and to some degree Sargon who do drown out the lower moderate voices, which makes it hard to give. Makes it hard to say anything other than what they're saying. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Definitely.
So, anyways, you were going to give your thoughts on the Eric Kane podcast, Cerberus.
Oh, yeah. I mean, I thought he did. I thought he's done really well. I mean, that's all I can really say at this sort of point in time. I think that Total Biscuit definitely dominated the floor and definitely was saying, "Hold on a second," to Tito's, stuff, which was great that he was calling him out on that. And I just really hope that we get sort of more sort of interviews like that where, yes, it was a little bit dry in places, but this is the thing. It's not shock jock. I'm tired of the shock jock stuff. I'm tired of these people, jumping on other people and, and I don't think, we're going to see less and less shock jock because the divide between gamergators and anti-gamergators is getting really wide now. There's no middle ground for discussion really, and there's very little people sitting on the fence. Most people have taken sides.
Yeah, and that bothers me because we'll never make progress, right? If
It's getting vicious out there, man. I mean, when Devi switched back, somebody tweeted her today, pretty much saying, what's it like to be, loathed on both sides of the fence, and she's bringing a lot of bad attention to the whole damn sort of thing, which is really sad because, she has flip-flopped around the issue, but I think it's just so confusing for her as well. I think it all goes down to Milo apparently put some sort of transphobic statement out there, and nobody defended her on it. But
that's nobody's job. Milo's allowed to have his own opinions.
He is, but apparently we are to... I don't even know what those opinions are. I can't even find the tweets where they were fighting. I don't... just because, I mean, this is the same argument that we're leveling at them, is that because, we're not a majority, that think the same way as Milo. Milo is quite clearly stated he's right-wing, and I don't agree with Milo. I don't agree with Milo on a lot of British conversation points like politics and his leanings, for certain parties. So I'm definitely not going to agree with him in his transphobia statement. But I will support him in the fact that he is actually putting aside all that just to cover, something in the games media, something that fits his agenda, but also fits ours. And it is true in the dynamic that enemies are friends. And I think some people have just got to understand that, because otherwise we're just going to be shouting at each other.
Yeah, that's one of the big things when all this stuff started dropping that I noticed that the gaming journalism specifically websites were kind of dropping. It was the fact that the simple fact that the information was dropping on Breitbart was bad, and it was because it's Breitbart, they could use right wing to spin it away. And I hate to tell them this is something they should have learned in journalism school. Good journalism is good journalism no matter the source. If it is good, it will rise to the top and be something good. If it's bad, it will be dismissed and thrown away.
I mean, you can't dismiss the fact that he does sensationalize it, but his facts are true. His facts are correct, and his conclusions, he still leaves it up to the actual viewer to make or reader to make those decisions based on the evidence that he's provided that has been fact checked, that has been properly sourced.
And he does sensationalize it, but unfortunately in today's media, you kind of have to get clicks, right? I get
Yep.
that. And the one thing I've always said about Milo, and I will continue to say about Milo, is I disagree with a lot of his crap, but Milo's not afraid to own it, right? If Milo fucks up, Milo will stand up and say, guys, I fucked up, I was wrong. Look, he called gamers, what did he call gamers? I don't even know what he called, right? We're a fucking bunch of puss baby man baby, right? And then he said, you know what, guys? I was wrong about you. Games are pretty fun. You guys are pretty awesome. And
Yeah,
he can own their shit.
As a matter of fact, I saw him earlier because he's on my Steam friends list. He was playing CS:GO earlier today.
He's getting into it, right? And he owned it,
Yeah.
though. He said he was wrong, and he apologized and he moved on. Just like his fuck up with his old website, trying to pay people or whatever. He's apologized 100 times for it. He's owned it, and he's moved on. And I respect that, regardless of what their political views might be. Own your shit, and we're good. So I'm good. I'm good with Milo. I hate that people just listen to his views. The whole Debbie thing, it annoys the fuck out of me because she was out there saying, "Oh well, it was never about transgender." But then Milo made it about transgender, and now you're taking his side versus mine. And it's like, no, Debbie, you made it about transgender. We didn't. You did. You threw yourself in the middle of this over your transgenderness. Nobody else did that but you. But she's spinning it, and she gets under my skin really, really quickly. And that's what I'll say about Debbie.
And yeah, she did a lot to be. I'm saddened to see her flip to the other side because.
Oh, she's not even on the other side, man.
Oh yeah,
she hates everybody.
Uh,
She's on the warpath, which isn't helpful.
No, I mean, and I hate to see her flip to no one's side because she was one of the strong kind of transgender voices, especially in Not Your Shield. Because, I mean, that was what we were trying to prove. We were trying to prove that we're not pushing these people out, and she kind of pushed herself out, which it kind of hurts our cause.
Mm. But how moderate are you feeling anyway after Dell this week?
I don't even know what happened there, right? Like this bigwig makes some tweet about ISIS, and then they fucking take down their support page.
I don't give a shit. I personally don't give a shit about Dell. Gamers know that Dell doesn't make good PCs.
But how do you feel about, again, being compared to ISIS, compared to a growing, escalating problem that is Syria girl? She actually posted a picture of an ISIS soldier holding a decapitated head, and saying, "Is this a gamer? Fucking sort yourselves out."
Good for her.
I'm tired of being because I'm tired of being labelled.
Oh, did you
like
see?
That.
I am too. Did you see how Total Biscuit jumped down that guy's throat?
Yeah.
That pretty much summed up how I felt about everything, because that was the time when Total Biscuit. I remember the first tweet that he put out. I said, "Let me take my moderate hat off here and actually say something, and come down on a side again."
And this is gonna hurt them. Well, before I even get into that, I'll just say this: comparing gamers to ISIS is 100% trivializing, to the point of being unimportant, everybody who's been affected by ISIS. Right? You are totally trivializing everybody who's had their life affected by ISIS by saying gamers are them. And that is the most cold-hearted, fucked up thing in my mind you could ever do, is trivialize a lost life. So anybody who does that can fucking fuck off. But the whole Total Biscuit thing basically coming down on the side of Gamergate, right? Because he's been playing pretty moderate. Now that he's come down on the side of Gamergate, this is going to fucking hurt the anti-side. Because now advertisers are going to fucking listen. You know what I mean? He's like one of the biggest YouTubers out there. They're going to fucking pay attention now.
Yeah, it's a big ass win. There's no it's in his new media. He's the current relevant media. Talking head media seems to be a lot more prevalent, and their opinions. Um, it's just old versus new. New generally is going to trump it, basically.
Um, I was gonna say something on that. Now I totally forget. But I guess I'll move the conversation along a little bit to sad news that we've all heard. But I just want to say publicly to the 5 people listening how saddened I am, and how my deepest condolences go out to Christina Summers and her family for the loss of her husband. He was an extremely brilliant man, and it's sad.
Yeah, I
Yeah.
signed the book this evening as well.
Yeah, I chipped in on the Google Doc Milo threw out.
Oh, I missed the actual donor thing for the flowers, which was annoying because I actually really would have.
I didn't have the cash to chip. I didn't have the resources to physically chip in, but I signed my name to the sympathy stuff.
Yeah.
And I sympathize with her because over the past couple of years I've had both parents pass away, and before that my uncle, who was kind of like was a father figure to me, pass away, and I really sympathize with her on this whole time. So I kind of know what she's going through.
Well, first off, sorry about your loss.
Yeah.
I've been lucky to avoid any major losses so far outside of some grandparent or a couple of my grandparents. But it's sad, and
This year's been pretty awful for losses for people that I know who have lost something, basically, because my mate's father died in a plane crash, which was bloody awful. Actually, so many things have died this year. So many people have been affected. It's been a really crappy year for that.
yeah, it's sad. It's well, I don't know what else to say other than it's sad, right?
I know.
It genuinely is.
Hmm.
Oh, I just saw this. I have TweetDeck up in my other window. Running with Scissors has lambasted the game journalism press for corruption.
Oh, really?
Yeah. For the 5 people who are not familiar, Running with Scissors are the developers behind the game Postal, or the first 2 Postals.
Yeah, I knew that.
This is the statement I just saw fly through. We've always believed in the power of our fans and real gamers to be wary of which sources they choose to receive their information from, to seek out the truth, and to share their knowledge with the rest of their gaming family. Gaming is not a solitary activity. It links people and places worldwide and lets their voices be heard by everyone. The next time anyone is tempted to get together in a deceitful group trying to fight against gamers and their culture, the events of these months might just cause them to think twice and consider that honesty, transparency, accountability, and integrity is the right path to take. The fallout from this event, no matter how it ends, will be very long-lasting. It will be a long time before any of us will forget what has happened here. Fool us once, shame on you. Fool us twice, it will be shame on you again.
Wow.
And that's the official statement. That's a snippet of the official statement from Running with Scissors.
Wow. That's a big win. I hate to say win, right, like that, but
Yes.
that's a pretty fucking big
It
win.
is what it is. Call it what it is. It is a win. The only thing that would that's the kind of thing that I'd want Rockstar to do eventually.
Absolutely.
Yeah, 100% agree. I think they will, right? Now that you have people like Total Biscuit coming out, basically throwing all their fucking eggs in the Gamergate basket, I wouldn't be surprised if they don't follow suit eventually.
Yeah, I mean, because how many times have they been shit on?
Oh, millions, right? And
Okay.
as you said when we first started, it's now becoming my side versus your side, and it's almost to the point where everybody needs to throw their hat in on one side or the other.
Well, I mean, Running with Scissors was the company that kind of started those big name games like that. Like it was the birthplace of the GTA like series and the birthplace of series like Hotline Miami, the kind of ultra violent stuff.
Yep, and good on them.
And I'm surprised Devolver hasn't made a statement.
Who's that?
They're the I think they're the publishing company behind Hotline Miami.
Ah,
Um,
like I said, I think you're going to see more and more companies take one side or the other, right?
Yeah.
They kind of have to at this point.
I
Only.
don't think publishers will.
Oh, God, what's that?
I don't think the publishers will come down on anyone's side. I
No.
think I think I think producers and developers definitely, but I mean, uh, uh, yeah, it's just not their kind of fight. They haven't got anything to lose from it. But people that have been routinely lambasted for creating games like this, yeah, fucking have at 'em.
I mean, they're going to be lambasted one way or the other, so you might as well have some fun while you're doing it. You know what I mean?
Yeah,
Yeah, I mean,
yeah,
when your game makes $1 billion and you come down on the Gamergate side, it's just kind of, well, that would be the biggest statement if Rockstar physically came down. Or I don't see EA has kind of a funny position in this because of the
EA's hard.
statements they've made.
Well, EA's hard too because not only are they a developer, they're also a publisher, right? And they're also a PR company, and they're also all this shit. That it's got to be really hard for EA to come down anywhere but 100% dead neutral.
And once again, it's like it'd be like if the KKK kind of sided with us because we all know how EA is, but EA is the money.
Oh yeah,
And
EA or Activision?
Yeah. EA even more than Activision. EA has more money than Activision could ever dream of having.
Unfortunately,
well,
that,
even with Blizzard acquisition.
Yeah.
I don't know any more about it. I know EA has multiple studios, but I just don't. I didn't know how much, how because the growth of Activision's been quite large. I don't know if it's on.
Activision's kind of has really been growing, but EA has been on the downward trend. I'd still say they're bigger, but they're on the downward slope.
I think you are underselling WoW income.
That's true.
Right? That fucking piece of shit costs nothing to run these days. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
That's unfair. It's actually still a very good game for what it is.
Yeah.
But it costs nothing to run these days at all. I mean, they've been doing it for so long. Their team's probably so tiny that it's just a cash cow. They're hemorrhaging money out of World of Warcraft.
And they're not even doing that much anymore lately because WoW went free to play and all that, even though it's only up to level 20, but they still went free to play. At least they didn't do what BioWare did and went free play right out of the gate.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But the thing about this week is it is still a bit of a slow news week because the only things that have been talking points have been talking heads again. There hasn't been any massive, breakthroughs this week. There's been no startling apart from apart from that video that dropped about Anita's past. But we could all tell that she's just. It was interesting to see what XOXO was like inside.
Guys.
Yeah.
That is a video that I need to watch. I haven't yet.
I did not watch Sargon's latest video about Anita's pyramid scheme. Did anybody watch that? Did you, Cerberus?
Yeah, I watched it at work today, and it was just like it was good because I'm echoing on somebody. Is that me or am I?
No, I don't hear you echoing.
I can hear the echo. I think it's on your side, Grit.
I muted it. Is that any better?
Yeah, echo's gone.
Yeah, that's fine. No, I was watching it at work. It talks about her. Some of these videos I think disappeared because her original website is still available on the Wayback When machine, but a lot of that artwork has sort of disappeared, like the buttons and things like that. But a lot of these videos that came from when she was trying to promote herself, basically, and the Ponzi schemes that she was involved with. This was kind of them cut with XOXO footage, and I'm just really, I was really interested just to see what XOXO was like inside. I don't want Anita's in the video, basically 23 years old, go, I know the power of what these telemarketing conferences can do, and then she's basically on stage at XOXO with an audience. But it's quite funny. If you cut to the XOXO audience, not everybody's cheering when she's making these comments. There's a very loud section shrill voices in the back that are going, "Woo, Anita," like that. And then there's a front row of white males that are just kind of staring, kind of like, I don't, and I'd love to figure out who the hell half of them were.
It was. I think with that, it's either they are intently listening and absorbing this material. That sounds more like they're sitting there and absorbing this material to me.
It was the look on the faces, though.
And
it was just like stony. It was like almost bored. It was, it's easy probably maybe to confuse the two, but they looked bored.
I've listened to her talks, and I get bored after 5 minutes, so that does not surprise me.
But I mean, she is. But the peddling of what she is. She wants to be big. She's loving this, and she was on stage, and she was highlighting the conspiracy, trying to sort of like make light of the fact that people think that feminist frequency is a massive scam. And she's trying to make light of it, and I think there's some truth in that, because there's always some truth in jest. Trying to laugh it off.
Is it not a massive scam? I mean, I don't know. I don't have their financials.
Well, no, but this isn't. Her in the old days was a scam. She operated. She was trying to make a living. She had a shitty degree, and that wasn't really relevant in anything. But when she met her boyfriend, she became, and dear God, she was a mess in the telemarketing or whatever the fuck it was, video that she did. She was a complete mess. She looked, disheveled, and she's just been like, just kind of adjusted, kind of had the haircut, kind of had the makeup, and she's just become a mouthpiece basically for her boyfriend's socio-political ideas. She wants to make money, and she can exploit herself. None of these are her ideas.
You don't think, huh?
None of them. He is the real. If you've read some of his tweets in previous weeks,
he is crazy.
He is.
I will flat say that man. There is just something with that man that I just. It's like sitting. It's like if you have a thick wallet and you sit with it. I just can't. It does not sit right with me. I mean, I'm falling out of the chair. It doesn't sit so well with me.
Yeah, John McIntosh is nuts, right?
Yeah.
To the point of like going almost as far as to saying capitalism needs to die. Let's usher in the new age of communism, right?
And funnily enough, I just read something on that the other day for one of my classes. And that's a straight up Leninist argument right there.
Oh, it is.
Yeah.
He totally almost went that far, right? Like, he stopped right at that line. And at that point, I just kind of ignored him.
What's his Twitter handle again?
Oh, I don't remember.
I don't either, sadly.
But
that was the funny thing. It was like, I hear this, and on Tuesday morning, I was reading something from one of my classes, and it was Lenin's economic policies, basically. And it said that capitalism is the old guard and needs to die. Just flat, it needs to die because this was the time of the trusts. And
that sounds very familiar.
Yeah, I mean, this was the it was saying that this was the time of trusts, that capitalism is broken because of these trusts and it needs to die. There needs to be a new system come in.
Oh. You're full of shit, but I'm totally not schooled enough in Lenin's work, theories, whatever you want to call it, to speak to it. But
right.
I personally am a fan of capitalism. Mostly, right? Of course, it's not perfect, right? And nothing ever is.
Well, and this was also written, like I said, this piece was that he wrote on his economic policies was also more in reference to the British and French systems, because the American system had encountered trusts a few years later and basically passed policy to shut them down.
Good for America. Fuck America. Isn't that what I'm supposed to say? Or America, fuck yeah.
Yeah, America, fuck yeah.
Oh, talking about swearing, I was just talking to my friend. Um, we've got to have a pronunciation lesson here about what you call twat.
What?
Oh,
Yeah,
oh yeah, twat. Yeah,
yeah,
we
it,
elongate the A.
yeah, I know, but I think you're missing out, guys. Seriously, try, try the old-fashioned, just twat. Try it out for size. Twat,
Twat.
I mean,
Actually,
twat.
that's, it
No,
rolls
just
straight off the tongue.
twat.
it's
Yep.
more fun to say, but all I can imagine is what? Like what? You know, the WAT?
Yeah.
What?
It's just the way that you're saying it, man. It takes practice. You just go. Oh, for fuck's sake, you twat. You know, twat, twat, twat.
What?
Yeah, we'll
What?
get there.
Twat.
Twat. There we go. Yeah, you had it. You had it, man.
Uh,
Yeah.
Oh god, and that reminds me. I don't know if you ever watched the series by the YouTube series by Yahtzee Croshaw and his friend Gabe. Let's Drown Out.
No.
But
Uh,
it's two Australians and they're basically talking about their favorite set of swears and the most inventive ones. And I think Yahtzee said that his favorite one was you mung-headed toss fuck.
Bug-headed toss.
yeah.
I like that one. Mung-headed toss top. I like that.
Oh
And
man.
I think Runs with Scissors might be down. Either we flooded them because they posted because I saw someone actually retweet the statement of running with Scissors, and I can't get to their site. I don't know if it's DDoS or if it's if it's just flood of support because I mean let's face it, what was the last game Running with Scissors made that was worth playing? That was Postal 2.
A long time ago.
Yeah.
Um,
By the way,
so
don't get 3. 3 sucked.
back to insults. My favorite insult is to tell somebody they have gotten a hip of syphilis. That is my favorite.
Oh, that was pretty good. Like that.
Gotten a hip of syphilis.
I'm just looking at this Jonathan McIntosh, and I would just love to punch him in the face.
I thought you were going to say I would just love to talk to him. You are so really awesome. Just punch him in the face.
He wouldn't talk to you, man. He'd talk at you. He's one of these
No,
people.
he would talk down to us.
Oh,
He's that type of person. Anyways, to bring it back around, I want to finish our conversation that we had on Sunday about women shaming in video games, or however we were phrasing it. If you let a video game like WoW or the Barons know you're a woman, do you deserve what comes at you?
yeah, I remember.
You wanted to think about that more, and I want to
Yeah.
get on it because I know where I.
I know where I stand. I think listening back, it wasn't half as controversial as what I thought it was in my mind at the time. But I mean, I don't know if you. I mean, I haven't. To be honest, I've been thinking about a few other things in Gamergate, but the argument I think was that should women feel safe at all times, and not accept. Even if it comes to a decision where basically they have made a slip up, a bad judgment, and they will suffer some ramifications for that. Should they be immune to those ramifications because they're a woman, because they're supposed to be in a safe sort of zone, or suspending reality, as it were, or whatever.
See, in my view, my personal opinion goes all the way back down to what Jerry read last week, which is tits or get the fuck out. If you let the world know online that in a video game specifically like WoW, if you let like the Barons know you're a woman, you need the tits or get the fuck out. Right? Like that's my personal feeling on that matter. Because there are no girls on the internet. As 4chan so eloquently put, there are no girls on the internet.
I think. Oh, sorry, go on.
Oh yeah, because the only real valid reason that you would ever want to know if someone was a woman on the internet is because that they have a different perspective, and that's really it. Because I wouldn't know what it's like to have a vagina. I don't know what it's like to have a different set of chemicals flowing throughout me and different brain processes and stuff like that.
Bio-truth or bio-truth? Okay, sorry.
Yeah. I'm fucking yeah, because the bio-truther shit actually, that's been studied and verified and all that stuff.
I know, I was only fucking with you.
Yeah.
But anyways, I get what you're saying, right? And that's the only reason to let the world know you're right. Like to let the online world know you're a woman, specifically in a video game, is you for some reason want everybody to know you're a woman. You have a different view. You have a different opinion, and probably in a game like WoW, you want the world to know you're a woman so you can get special treatment, right? And maybe that's stereotypical or that's sexist or whatever. I find that's probably mostly the case, right? Actually, what I find is what's mostly the case is 12-year-old boys telling people they're women.
It used to be German fat men. That's what we used to, I don't know if I talked about this last time. We played a lesbian only clan. Oh God, what was it? At Counter-Strike one evening, my clan. Ironically, we were all males and they were an all-female team. But they had they really were those type of girls that wanted to kind of like stick it to the man, and in if they killed you and things like that. Their server was rigged up with the old Unreal Tournament announcer's voice, but it was a female modification on it, and they wanted people to know they were female and they had a different opinion, but they were better than men. I remember that.
Were they?
That was it. I can't actually remember, but I think we might have lost that one.
That's awesome.
To be honest.
And actually we are.
Yeah. I can't remember. That team, definitely our team was going through some massive restructuring. And God, I tell you what, I don't know if you look back and if you ever did clanning, I don't know if you would ever dedicate that sort of time again to it if you knew how much you were wasting.
That's how I feel about Final Fantasy XI. I probably spent 6 years of my life doing coke and playing Final Fantasy XI. And thank God for my life for pulling me out of that. But looking back at it, the coke part was really fun, but wasting my time on Final Fantasy XI, probably better things I could have been doing when I was strung out on cocaine. You know what I mean?
Were you playing that on the PC or?
Oh yeah.
Okay.
And I had every single job to level 75 before they upped the cap and all that, right? Like I had my that's all I did was play Final Fantasy XI.
Say what you will about cocaine. Cocaine makes you get shit done.
Oh God, yeah. That's the only reason I had the max cap and I had every job at level 75 is because I would do a couple lines and I'd be like, come on guys, all right, where's my static? Let's do it. Let's grind, let's do it.
Wow.
And it fucking worked wonderfully. I think because I was playing with a bunch of cokeheads as well, it just made life easier. You know what I mean?
Because they're on the same speed level as you.
Exactly.
I've never done coke myself, but I was at a leaving do, and this guy had just emerged from the toilets with a massive plastic carrier bag of coke, and this guy who was also at the leaving do was like, oh, can I have some of that? And he was like, yeah, just take a bit out of the bag, and he kept on saying, take a bit out of the bag, and then he was muttering to himself, and he turned around and he goes, tie up the bag, and then he goes, would you fucking tie up the bag? And like everybody just turned around and go, and he's like, nothing's going on, and then just went in the toilet with the bag. Didn't emerge for an hour or two, basically.
Don't do any drugs. They're bad for you. Yeah,
unless you're in Colorado, and then you can have the occasional blunt or whatever.
Yeah, exactly. For a long time, coke was my drug of choice. So in high school, it was mushrooms.
That must have been expensive, though, dude.
Yeah, well, I got my first programming gig when I was 18, fresh out of high school, making $62,000 a year. I think my first job paid me. I was living at home. I didn't fucking care about money. You kidding me? I was living off mommy and daddy.
Wow.
making 62 grand a year. I was just fucking blowing it.
62 grand a year. Whew.
Yep.
Jeez.
And then I lost that job thanks to Final Fantasy 11 and cocaine, but that's okay. I've moved on.
If you're gonna lose it to something, that's pretty good. I like that.
Yeah.
Party! Woo!
Yeah.
Woo! You went rock and roll in video games. You never do that, man.
There's very little about me that's not balls to the wall. If I'm gonna do it, it's balls to the wall, right? Like I don't know any other way. Right? There's no moderate with me. Oh, that's not true, but for the most part, there's very little moderate with me.
So, as I was saying earlier, do you reckon this? I think this has been a bit of a sort of slow ass week. It's just been there's been a lot of personal attacks. I've seen a lot of and I've seen a lot of people trying to not use the hashtag but try and insult us anyway. Basically, those kind of Gamergate keyword type things in Twitter. Twitter's apparently the tweets have gone down quite dramatically actually on the hashtag. Dropped to about 40,000, I think, or something. So,
this is the shill period.
Oh, the shilling, yeah.
The shilling. It started either early Sunday morning or late Saturday night. It was just, it started hardcore. And not just with people shilling Gamergate, but with our side starting to divide to the extremes as well.
Yeah, because when did we record? Because it still hadn't diluted by that time as well.
We recorded on Sunday night.
Yes, and it got really bad Saturday night, Sunday morning. That whole Operation Vox Media shit and all
the Operation Vox Populi and all that, yeah.
Whatever.
Oh, which apparently was psychological warfare. I'm sorry, I don't buy that. I think he got called out.
He did by Becca, and for those of you watching, follow at Irabrisa on Twitter if you already don't.
Yeah, he got called the fuck out, and I think he backpedaled.
Yeah, he hardcore backpedaled with that.
I don't not like the guy, but I just own it. If you make a mistake, fucking own it.
Exactly, I'm with you. I like Rogue, though he's quick to dismiss data that doesn't fit with his view, which is no better than the other side, right? All data is valuable, even if it does not jive with what you believe. You know what I mean? And he's very quick to dismiss data that doesn't jive with what he believes. And I don't like that.
No, you can't do that.
No.
And Todd in the Shadows from that guy with the glasses I saw this week got called out again for being a troll against Gamergate. I don't know what the hell is up with that dude, but he is. He's a music reviewer for a pop music reviewer for that guy with the glasses, which is kind of a critic site.
Lost me, man.
Is he anti or not?
He's very anti, and he's anti to the point where he trolls the hashtag a lot.
Gotcha. So you know what I do want to talk about, other than because I'm hesitant to self-plug my idea, so I don't want to talk about that yet, because I don't want to be a fucking shill for myself. But I do want to talk about fucking GitHub, because that pisses me off. As a software engineer, that whole GitHub shit pisses me the fuck off. You're familiar that GitHub pulled down the Gamergate Git repository.
See, I hadn't actually heard of the company or the product until it got mentioned that it got pulled down with that takedown by which was just literally this girl batting her eyelids at that dude, and he was like, "Yeah, done. I've taken it down for you." Massive white knighting. But I didn't know about GitHub until then, basically. So
I didn't even know GitHub had a harassment policy.
They don't.
I thought it was primarily just a site where programmers would post code and change lists and change logs and all that stuff.
It's not. It doesn't have a TOS which outlines harassment if it was harassment or whatever.
Which is that's like that was like when everybody started saying 4chan is 4chan is dead because a post on B was a user and post on B or thread on B was banned for off topic.
Yeah, exactly. How do you fucking ban something on random? But anyways, yeah, it pisses me off. And what pisses me off the most about it is one, I mean, my company pulled out a little over $300 a month on our subscription because of that. My CTO is not anti-Gamergate. He's not pro-Gamergate. He doesn't even fucking use Twitter. He doesn't like video games, right? He's an old dude. But his reasoning is, fuck censorship. I could show you the email if I got his permission. It is literally 2 words, fuck censorship. And we pulled out, and they lost a lot of business because of it, and I moved my private repos. But what pisses me off the most about it is that they've continued to let 2 of their employees make their company look fucking foolish online. And they've done nothing about it.
I see. That's okay. Maybe this is the conversation that we need to have then. All right. Does Gamergate actually want people fired?
Good question. Do I want people fired? Yes and no. There are some people that deserve to be fired for their questionable ethics, right? And I'm risking the megaphone because she'll find out. But somebody like Lee Alexander or Greg, whatever his last name is, that wrote that fucking "I'll fight you on my foot or horse" or whatever that guy's name is.
Oh yeah, that dickhead.
People like that with the vile shit they say, maybe they do deserve to be fired for their actions because it reflects terribly on their company, right? It's been continued actions. Somebody like this dude from George Reese probably doesn't need to be fired. And I would take far more pleasure in him having to stand up and apologize and swallow his fucking ego. Same with these kids from GitHub. Make them apologize. Make them
absolutely
apologize.
See, and I'm kind of sitting on the same position as you, that there are some people that I believe that genuinely need to be gone. Your Lee Alexanders, your Devin Faraci, I could extend it as far as maybe Nathan Grayson. But
Yeah, I'd definitely say Nathan Grayson. My position is I'm still not sure. I'm driven by more hate than I am when these names arise. So I don't think I'm a logical person ready to ask about it because I can get quite quite pent up about people and their opinions. But I definitely think that Nathan Grayson's got out of this lightly.
yeah,
And there are plenty of articles that people still haven't discovered that were written by him that are favoring, these devs that he's involved with.
Yeah, I don't know how he's been able. Him and Matty Bryce have been able to scooch their way out.
and
Matty
even,
Bryce.
and
Oh,
even Ian Miles Chong. I think that Nazi dickhead needs to go.
He
I agree.
needs to really go.
The problem is people like Ian Miles Chong. Doesn't he own that website? So where's
He is, yeah, exactly. Who's going to vet, some of these people? And some of them are well protected, not in the sense of almost a mafia type thing, but they just have, connections, and they'd probably resurface somewhere else as well. There's not going to be any blacklisting from this.
No, I do think that he runs Game of Sutra, so there's no way of getting him off of there. But not Game of Sutra, but
the hell's the name of his website?
GamerRanks?
Yeah, GameRanks.
Yeah.
There you go, GameRanks.
I think he needs to get the hell off of Reddit, off of the games subreddit.
Is he still on there? He hasn't been booted yet?
I don't know. I haven't heard anything either way.
Interesting. He just needs to get the fuck out. I don't care where he goes or what he does. If he wants to continue to write his slanderous bullshit on his corner of the internet, that's cool. But quit this poking the bear while not poking, right? He's poking the bear not with a 10 or not with a 5 foot fucking javelin, but with a 30-foot little twig by using Gamergate without the hashtag to mock him. You know what I mean?
See, this is the other thing. This is, as you're saying about the poking, is why do people continue to engage Pixie Jenny?
I don't fucking know.
It's like sadomasochism.
Piss her off. Just to piss her off, I do.
But she loves it.
Go ahead.
Absolutely loves it.
She does. She gets off on it.
Absolutely. I mean, everybody, you know, for someone who is who says that they're so damn moderate, I've never seen someone fall so hard on one side and claim such moderacy. If that's a word.
He's a concern troll, right?
Yeah.
And I think he enjoys it. What pissed me off is, I don't know, maybe it was Saturday or Friday, or I don't remember when it was, but she wrote an article about how everybody misunderstood the Gamers Are Dead articles. So I replied about how this was, you know, something along the lines of how Jenny's just a pretentious dick who thinks they know better than everybody else or something like that. And I must have had like 6 concern trolls telling me, now I need to be nice. I'm like, a pretentious dick is a pretentious dick. A spade's a spade. You know what I mean? And thinking you know better than I do makes you pretentious.
Oh, she does. She's Oxford educated.
She's fucking Ivy League rat, what she is.
She'll find a way into whatever it is. I mean, as I said, she already runs like the organisation of academics for that weird ass geek con that's in the UK. That thing looked like a fucking cult. It looked like Diger had its hand in it basically by the end of it.
Do people get an extra hour in the ball pit at that one?
Oh yeah, they're definitely all snowflakes, and it's a special safe zone for snowflake appreciation.
Did you see they want to put fucking trigger warnings on Tom and Jerry?
What? Oh,
seriously?
Don't even get this place ever.
Because
Why?
in the UK, Netflix in the UK put trigger warnings on Tom and Jerry because of the racist content.
Okay.
Yeah, there was blackface stuff, but that's no need for a trigger warning.
Do they even show that stuff anymore?
I know that there was some cartoons that have been on Cartoon Network that they just, because I have VHS copies of them where there's some blackface scenes in them, and they just straight up cut them. They just cut them today.
Yeah, they're gone.
Yeah.
They put trigger warnings on Tom and Jerry.
Well, I don't know if you guys have ever seen The Dam Busters, the movie The Dam Busters.
No.
I can't say that.
Okay. Right, okay. Dam Busters, very famous movie, retelling of Britain's RAF, basically, in World War II, attempting to blow up the 2 major dams, basically, used by Nazi Germany for power. And the development of the bomb, the bouncing Betty bomb, basically, that could bounce on water towards its destination and target. That aside, the movie had a very racist undertone that I'd never actually heard until probably last year, basically, which was the dog was a black dog, and they called it nigger. And the first time I heard this was on British television in the afternoon at something like 3 o'clock last year, and I've never heard that version before, and I was just like, what the fuck? And I was just like, so they censored it, basically. It's they'd censored it previously, and I don't know what the decision had been to basically let it go at the moment. But if you actually go through the movie, it's constantly there. It is literally N, 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 because they're all talking about the dog. The dog has a scene at one point where it's walking through the airbase and is acknowledged by 8 different people just with that. And it's like, wow. Wow. But then again, I think we should acknowledge that, though. I think we should acknowledge how far we've come.
Yeah. That was the time.
Yeah.
I mean, I have family who, I'm in the southern portion of America. I still have family that say the N-word with no hate behind it, referring to black people. Period.
So do I.
Just because, well, literally that was the time that they grew up in it. I mean, it was okay. I mean, even my great-grandparents, my grandma at least, still uses the term to this day, colored.
I think as much as people would like the elderly generation to be more sensitive to that kind of thing, it just isn't going to happen, because I think if you could spoke to anybody, they would find somebody from that older generation, basically, that still talks along those lines.
Exactly. Old habits die hard.
They do. And yeah, we've come a long way, but why the fuck? It's surely a kid would ask, you know, a black a black face in a cartoon is completely different from, you know, you can see there is no such thing like that, you know, in the world at all. There is, you know, and so, you know, a kid should be able to understand or be at least instructed by, you know, a parent as to, you know, what that is, what's the culture, what's the significance, and, you know, but be educated and be taught rather than fucking trigger warnings.
Yeah. I mean, I don't know if you're familiar with with the U.S. Constitution or anything like that, but have you ever taken a look at how our free speech policy actually kind of works and what you can be prosecuted for and all that stuff?
Yeah, I've looked at because I looked at it quite recently, but I can't remember off the top of my head. I looked at it quite recently because free speech has become a massive component of Gamergate, basically, and definition is so important when you're fighting some people.
Pretty much. There are three ways that the court system can interpret speech, but it kind of boils down to, does this speech incite direct violence on someone else? Like the idea of the fighting word. I'm going to say it again. The word nigger means fighting. Is a fighting word because it kind of that falls back to a policy back in like the 1930s when someone got arrested and they were, you know, yelling and bad-mouthing a cop as they were getting arrested, and they called the cop a damned fascist, and that's what got the guy basically booked.
Right.
And the court basically came down and said, yeah, no, we're siding with the police because the only reason you said that was to get a rise out of the cop. That was it.
Yeah, to be baited, basically.
Yeah, and that's one of the few areas of free speech in the United States that's not protected. You know, if your stuff is meant to directly incite violence, it is not protected, and the cops can freely throw you in jail.
You forfeit your right, basically, to as soon as it becomes inflammatory.
So with that said, there was a post on Twitter, and I saw it on Kotaku in Action, about somebody who said they contacted the best First Amendment lawyer in the country, and shit's about to be blown up with Gamergate. Have we heard anything else about that?
Never even heard it the first time, to be honest.
Yeah, that's the first time I'm hearing about it.
When was that posted?
Let me go to Kotaku in Action.
Is that no longer compromised, that place, or is it?
I think it's going to be just as bad as V was when everything kind of started. It's still going to be, you know, no matter what, there's going to be shilling and whatnot.
Just wonder what kind of degree it would be to.
I'm looking. Hold on.
I need to buy some new paintbrushes.
What are you painting?
War Machine.
Oh, gotcha.
Yeah.
Where is this link? Where is this link? Here, right here. It was said by Play Dangerously. I don't know who that is, but apparently people do. And what he said was, I just got off the phone with the best First Amendment law firm in the country. Let's just say Gamergate got a lot more interesting.
What was the
Mm,
date?
October 7th, so a couple days yesterday.
Yesterday.
well, the only place I know that they could even contact would be the ACLU, the American Civil Liberties Union. I think
Yeah,
wants to fight with that.
I couldn't imagine them really. I don't know.
I think, well, because funnily enough, the ACLU would come down on both sides
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
because they say, as shitty as this stuff is, they have the right to say it, and they would come down just as hard on them and say they have just as much right to say what they want to, so you can't censor their discussion either.
So you'd basically just end up in a pathetic stalemate,
Yep.
which is everybody. This is still the question that I ask each week, and to every new person. Basically, I got a new answer tonight. It's just like where is Gamergate going to go? Basically, when is Gamergate going to end? Got a response tonight. I don't think it will ever end. I can't imagine it ending. I'm sort of like here to the end, and I was like, okay, that's pretty cool. I'm still surprised. I've seen more new people this week as well that have started to come onto the tag. So
Yeah, it's weird. I've seen new people as well.
I'm always dubious of the new people and what motivations have brought them on.
True. Because you've got to. It's almost like there's a vetting process to be part of Gamergate, yet it's a very short process.
Hey, Code, you vetted me. I mean, and to be honest, I'm not. There were posts in the beginning where, I was agreeing with some what some people were saying on, trying to keep a moderate sort of thing. I still kind of try and keep a moderate kind of angle. But yeah, I'm not. Actually, there was some posts today that really pissed me off. Basically, the same sort of ignorant stuff that we were facing in the beginning is still becoming more prevalent, and it's happening more and more with trans people as well. I'm starting to notice more and more trans people are, and I don't know if that's Devi's influence, but I don't think so. But more people are just so misinformed, and they always have large numbers as well, and they always come out with radical first statements like "fuck Gamergate,"
Have you
And
seen?
then
Did you see the article by The Verge today?
Oh yeah,
God,
that was awful. I think
that is page one, day one of Gamergate all over again.
it is, and it's like kind of like hitting the reset button. It's like I tell you what it's like. It's like a soldier coming back from World War One, just hanging up their fucking tin helmet, and then just a cry goes out, and it's like, sorry, wife, I have to now return to the front line. It's time to fight again.
It's got this German guy named Hitler stirring up trouble. We got to go take care of him.
Yep.
So interesting. But I'm looking back at my very first tweet on Gamergate, just for the LOLs. And my very first tweet was, I'm a gamer, my wife is a gamer, my daughter is a gamer, we are not dying, we are not going away, good try though. That was my first tweet on Gamergate.
Yeah, but you've always been quite moderate to be as well.
I have been. I mean, I do poke the bear every now and again.
Oh, and these people do piss you off, because they piss me off, and we've had plenty of conversations where we've said this person's pissed me off.
Oh, definitely. I think all three of us here probably play it pretty moderate, which is probably why we don't get as many viewers as some of the other people.
Yeah, I was in another chat that was quite a nice, calm sort of place, and it actually had a few other names in there as well. But they didn't have a huge viewership, and there were some really smart people in there and some really good. So I don't really think numbers reflect anything, and I'm kind of glad our chat isn't filled with people just going, "Bring in Pole," "Bring in King of Pole."
Yeah, I would actually agree.
That is the battle cry of the ignorant.
I agree. And that's not against Pole, but
Big news: Encyclopedia Dramatic is back up.
yeah, I saw that.
Fuck.
Thank
It
fucking God, right?
is. Yeah, yep, they're right back up, and they're page one of the the main page of Encyclopedia Dramatical article of the now moots Gamergate sellout.
Yay.
I love Encyclopedia Dramatica.
That was one of the first places I got introduced to kind of the logic of places like 4chan and the forums and the online forum.
You know what's scary? I shared a bunch of videos from Liana back in the early days.
Yeah, of course. Well, it's not scary, man. It's what we thought these people were like. It's like
Yeah.
kind of like finding. It's like finding those old music CDs of bands that you no longer listen to. It's kind of like, yeah, they were relevant at the time. They're not
Yeah,
so
that's
much in my
true.
life anymore.
Good point. Also, one of my very first tweets is, I just slept with my wife and all I got was a 3 out of 10. I still like that joke. That was pretty good. Pat myself on the back.
Because this thing, I used to think that, yeah, I know, I used to think that Kotaku was a vetted good game site.
Yeah, me too, and I'll freely throw my ignorant hands up in the air there because it was covering a lot of Eastern things, and not a lot of websites were covering Japanese games, basically.
Yeah.
Exactly. I'm with you guys. There was a time where right on my phone, up until Gamergate started, because I've got the HTC One, M8, because I'm on T-Mobile. But anyways, it's got the, what do they call it, live stream, or I don't know what it calls it, but it's basically, I don't know if you're familiar with Android, but it's an RSS reader built right into your home screen. And
All
Kotaku,
right.
my very first thing on my RSS reader was Kotaku. So I could read it right there on my home screen without having to go into an RSS reader or anything, but it's now gone. And I'm cool with that.
I'll still visit the site with AdBlock up.
Oh, totally.
Yeah.
They're using archive.today.
Yeah.
Yeah, I tend to archive that today if I want to read something on there.
I just use the work computers because I'm not really doing anything. Well, I can't really stop the sort of like I get more spam if I go through other sort of things because our networks are so shitly protected. So I just go directly to the source.
Yeah, or that. So let's see. What else do we want to talk about until we talk about my idea?
All I know is right now I just saw this flash up. Penn Jillette's getting informed on Gamergate.
What?
Yeah, I saw something about that. It was just a one-word or a couple of word response, wasn't it? To
Yep. He just said he kind of lambasted the Times article, and he just said I'm kind of ignorant on the whole issue, and kind of took a step back, and people are just throwing information at him.
You know who I've been really tempted to throw information at is John Legere, the CEO of T-Mobile. Are you familiar with him, Jerry?
I am not, because I'm not a T-Mobile user, sadly. I'm a Verizon person.
Are you, Cerberus?
well, I have T-Mobile, which is now EE over here, but yeah, I've heard of him.
Their CEO is fucking phenomenal. He's outspoken. He's vulgar. He is everything you would want out of a CEO if you were a young, savvy tech guy. The reason I've been wanting to ask his opinion on it is because in a couple of his speeches he's referenced playing WoW with his daughter and how his daughter's a huge gamer. That I'm really curious what he thinks, what's going on. But I don't want to tweet him with the hashtag. You know what I mean?
Hmm.
And I don't want to tweet him with the words Gamergate because I don't want to bring a force of people onto him.
Yeah. Yeah, there's people get involved when they get involved.
But I'm really curious as to his view on it.
Maybe contact him outside of it.
I'm thinking I might send him an email. Funny story about T-Mobile. When I switched to T-Mobile, and I'm going to tell this, and maybe I'm sort of shilling for T-Mobile. But anyways, when I switched to T-Mobile,
Don't stop worrying about shilling.
Right now, this is the time where everybody's getting called as a shill if they're not extreme.
That's true.
Yeah.
I might as well share for T-Mobile. When I switched to T-Mobile, I have pretty good credit, right? And they gave me my credit rating. My credit rating was really good, so I could get up to 10 lines, no money down on the phones, right? All this good stuff. When I went to the store, they had to verify that credit rating. When they did that, they accidentally, whether it was accidentally or not, I don't know, ran my credit like 12 times, which, as you know, will immediately affect your credit, right?
Yeah.
So then I wasn't given the credit rating, and it became this big fight, and I wasn't going to switch if they weren't going to give me this credit rating where I could have 10 lines because I have a lot of my family on it. Long story short, the manager said, you should email John. I said, what? He said, you should email our CEO. He checks his email himself. He'd be interested in your story. I said, all right, whatever, you know. Some intern's going to read it, right? But I'll email anyways. I email him, and within an hour later, I get a phone call from his secretary asking me to tell him my story.
Wow.
Isn't that not fucking badass? For
That's very nice.
biggest T-Mobile to email the CEO and go, hey, you know, assistant, call this guy. I want to know what's up. And they ended up giving me like a free month of service and a free upgrade and a free phone, like all this shit. They just like fucking took care of me.
Customer service, man. That's when it's good. That's when they actually look after the customer for a change instead of treating you like a piece of shit.
Thanks, EA.
Yeah, thanks, EA. Thanks, Obama.
It was really badass, and ever since then, I've been a huge T-Mobile supporter, and I will. Their service is not the best, but their customer service is hands down the best. You know what I mean? So maybe I will email them. But anyways, what else are we talking about? I want to get more people in here before I talk about this. What else to happen?
Give away a free game. That's what seems to get people in. That's what some of the streamers have started doing now. I'm just like, come on.
Are you serious? We're now giving away free stuff to get you.
Oh yeah, Paul runs a competition each day when he runs a stream. Sorry.
Are you serious?
No, I'm not joking, man. I'm not joking. Not joking. He's raking it in enough. I mean, the donations that he receives, he puts back into. He says the into the prize pool and things like that. But no, I'm not.
Cool, right?
What? Sorry.
I said that's cool that he's doing that, but it's essentially bribing viewers, right? It's fun, but it's kind of paying for viewers.
Hey, at least it's not as bad as when the fucking Smash demo came out. Some of those tweets were just shit.
Well, that was GNAA doing what they do.
Yeah, that was GNAA all over again, and I was just like, ugh.
Yeah, pretty much. I didn't like that day. That day was not good.
Yeah, that was a
Actually,
terrible day, but GNAA does what GNAA does.
I haven't had a good day. I haven't had a great day on Gamergate for quite some time, actually.
Alright, so 2Hap1 asks, what the fuck is a shill? That is a very good question. How do you define a shill?
Well, I actually looked up the dictionary definition, and it doesn't mention money until a definition, of it in a sentence, basically. But it's just somebody who has an invested interest talking about a product or a person, basically, in a positive light. So they have an invested interest.
That's it?
That's essentially it. If you look up the Oxford Dictionary definition, it does bring monetary compensation for that activity, but only in one of the sentences where they use shill in the actual course of the conversation.
I mean, a shill to me, at least in the case of this, is somebody who is acting like they are pro for a little while, and then their next step, once they can see they've got some people behind them, is immediately denied, discredit, and end discourse.
That's a good definition, right? They build you up, they get you to tell them your quote-unquote secrets, and then they knock you down.
Mm-hmm.
Pixie Jenny is a shill.
But who is she shilling for? She's shilling for herself.
Herself.
Yeah.
Rihanna K has become a shill. Um,
Yeah. Well, she's been recently quoted as rigging Metacritic scores.
I saw that. That doesn't surprise me. In her response to that, did you see her response to that? Well, I think
Yeah.
numerical scores are stupid. That's not a response to fucking lying about a video game score.
You could just say, "I think your complete opinion is stupid," and
Sexism, misogyny,
no,
misogyny.
misogynies. We were talking about internal soggy knees today.
Were we?
Well, I was talking to I mentioned it on this other stream, and I was just like and they were just like, so what? It's like internalized under the skin soggy knees, or is it like no? It's under the clothes. It's when you get when you get drenched, but from within. It's really weird.
The concept of an internalize of something like that internalized, I think, is absolute just bullshit. Just, I mean, it's.
Well, I get self-loathing. I get things like that, but internal hatred of something, you know, misogyny, internal hatred of your entire existence as a female. What? It's just
Yeah,
like,
I think that's what they want to say it is, but I mean, Jesus. I think it's the idea that they have had so much, and this is, I think, what their definition of it is. Once again, I have not done my research on this, but it's the idea that they have had so much misogyny thrown at them that they have taken that into themselves. It has become a part of their being, and therefore, what you're saying is a product of that.
that's
Like,
very deep.
like
I was.
It's
sorry.
like a woman can't say that she likes cooking and cleaning and staying home and raising kids because that is a product of internalized misogyny.
Right. That's a pretty good definition, because what I was kind of going for was more like sort of like a gender traitor.
Yeah.
Traitor to the cause, to female kind.
I
It's
love
kind
that.
of,
I love Two Hap's definition. They can't accept that other women don't agree with them, so they made shit up to discredit them. That's definition of internal misogyny right there. Just something they made up. I posted on Twitter the other day, and I wish somebody would actually responded to me. I said I grabbed my wife's ass and she enjoyed it, and she internalized my soggy knees and did it her.
I didn't see that. I didn't see that. Your wife factors into a lot of these tweets.
I'm going to tell you how awesome my wife is. I was talking to people on Skype today, and somebody made a comment about how I should use ice cubes,
Right.
going down on her. So I said, hey, babe, somebody told me I should stick an ice cube up your vag. And she goes, tell whoever told you that to fuck off. You ain't sticking nothing cold up my twat. Yeah, actually, but I'm trying to get used to the twat.
I like that. You did it, man. You're doing it. You're doing it.
So my wife's pretty awesome. She can take it. But she enjoys staying at home with the kids, and she gets a lot of people look down at her for it. And she's like, you know what? I'm spending every fucking day with my kids, so fuck you guys.
You're spending the day with people you love. What is wrong with that?
Exactly.
My mum was, and still is, sorry, I don't know why I said was, she's very much still alive, is stay-at-home mother as well.
Gamer?
What, sorry?
Is she a gamer?
No,
She's alive.
She had a Wii Fit, you know.
Oh, she might be dead. Maybe she's in that middle ground. Anyway, go ahead. What were you saying about your...
Oh, sorry. No, I'm just thinking about actually failed attempts by my family to become gamers. My sister has a Wii. She doesn't use that. I don't know. Gaming's always been a bit sort of hit and miss. Not actually. A lot of my friends weren't gamers actually, or they were casuals even back in those days. A lot of my friends that I actually ended up gaming with properly were over the internet.
Well, the funny thing is, my uncle, who, as I said at the beginning, was kind of a father figure to me. Actually, he was one. When I got my Super Nintendo, he used to play with me all the time on that. It fell off as the N64 came out because he didn't like the setup of the controller or anything like that. He couldn't hold it, but he loved playing Super Nintendo. His favorite game, honest to God, the one thing he always loved to play was Donkey Kong Country, the original.
It's a great game.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
I don't know if anybody saw this, but I do want to read it because it made me smile. From Jenna Bain. I assume that's Total Biscuit's wife, husband.
Yeah.
I don't follow Total Biscuit.
Yeah, that's TV's wife.
The first thing I said after Total Biscuit was conscious. The hospital has Wi-Fi. He smiled. That made me smile.
I can't believe what he's in there for, and then I can't believe fucking Leigh Alexander.
I know he has cancer. Do you know what kind?
Colon.
Colon cancer. Yeah, colon cancer.
That could be.
That's why we named the
Yeah.
donate to the Fine Young Capitalist Operation Butthurt.
Oh,
Yeah.
sorry. I don't follow a lot of online internet personalities.
Yeah, that was why V, when they started donating it, gave it that name. It was because they donated the money to a colon cancer foundation.
That I knew.
Yeah, and that was called Operation Butthurt in honor of TB.
Gotcha. That can be dangerous. I lost a friend from high school to colon cancer at a very young age. She was, what, 26, 27?
Oh yeah, the shit sucks.
So Godspeed. I'm not religious, but Godspeed with taking Total Biscuit.
Actually, are we all atheists in here, or what?
Go ahead, Jeff.
I claim Christianity, but moderate Christianity.
Okay.
The school I actually go to is funded by the Baptist Association, but it's a liberal arts school nonetheless.
Are you in college?
Yes.
What are you studying currently?
I am majoring in political science, minoring in journalism.
Yeah. No wonder you got.
Game journalist?
Say again?
Are you going to become a game journalist?
I've thought about it. I used to think I wanted to work for Vice after seeing the stuff they did on like HBO and whatnot, but now it's just like that's dangerous as fuck territory.
Yeah, it is. You become a doctrine. So I am not an atheist per se. I believe there probably is a higher power. I don't know if it's God, and I don't know if God created the earth, but there probably is some being somewhere out there that is more powerful than we are. That would be my belief. And if you want to call that a belief in aliens, cool. Right? But that is my belief. So I am not dead set against a God, but I am dead set against cult-like activities that these churches employ. So that's where I sit.
I think we can all agree in here that the Westboro Baptist Church is a piece of shit, though.
Yeah.
Yes, somebody. So I tweeted out thoughts and prayers to Christina Summers on the Gamergate hashtag, and a couple people came at me for using the Gamergate hashtag and how that's gonna incite people to troll her and all that. And I'm like, if anybody has the gall to troll Christina Summers because somebody posted thoughts and prayers on the Gamergate hashtag, they need to go join the West Baptist Church.
Yeah, fucking go for it. She has given so much to the cause of Gamergate, and the fact that she was still tweeting positive stuff about Gamergate even though her husband had died.
Exactly.
And she didn't stop. She didn't take a stop to it.
It's why we call her Based Bob.
Mm-hmm.
That was a very good movement. I won't lie, I'm a little afraid we're going to see articles in the next couple of days trying to say how Gamergate is using her husband's death to spin themselves in a positive light. That does scare me.
If they do, they're despicable motherfuckers, and that's going to just kill their credibility, period.
It would make me sick to my stomach if that happens, but I would not put it past Vox Media. At
Oh
this point,
God.
I would put it past Fox to run something on one of their sites. The Verge, Polygon, you know what I mean?
Fucking shit.
Or the Mary Sue, right? Like we may see something like that on the Mary Sue.
Oh, did you see that really shit? It's still the second picture in the Twitter feed for Gamergate hashtag. That twat who posted Stephen Hoggerty, who posted tweeted a picture of a gun at me as if to imply I'm going to shoot a bullet out of this and into you. First of all, it's a fucking pump action shotgun. It doesn't shoot bullets. It fucking shoots shells. You shitbag. And then I was just like, "You're a limey cunt, aren't you?" Because I went straight to his page. Yeah, he's a games writing twatbag. And then I remember where I heard of him before. He was the one that said he was going to beat all gamers to death with his hands and his fists.
I saw
The
that.
the picture of the guy posting a shotgun towards him was like saying, "Yeah, come at me, bro. Basically, if you're gonna try and kill me, I'm gonna fucking defend myself."
Yeah, which is his right, right?
Yeah.
And us.
And so they were like trying to say, "Oh, it's the histrionics of the statement that made it so funny," and this guy was completely out of line, posting a shotgun, and that's a threat. That is, what is he going to fucking do? An ICBM fucking 12 gauge shell? I haven't heard of one of those. I don't think you can fucking lob slugs that far, can you? Over the fucking ocean?
Nah.
Nah.
I don't know. North Korea's been trying for a long time, right?
What to fire shotgun shells that far? They must be desperate.
Well, who the fuck knows what the hell they're trying to fire, right?
I think they're still working on that new slingshot technology, that rubber band stuff. I mean,
Dude, that's cutting edge, man.
oh yeah.
I flicked this guy's ear with a rubber band today, man.
Oh, that's it. Right.
Yeah.
Well, nobody else wants to join us. Fuck, we'll just talk about it. I want to get your guys' thoughts on my rategamemedia.org is what I'm currently calling it. Idea.
I absolutely support the idea behind it, at least.
Okay, I'll let you.
I mean, the idea of nailing down what journalists do, that would kind of nailing it down with political or agenda pushing is good, particularly if you're looking for people who do that. But it can also it can limit the view. Well,
so first off, I've removed agenda as a category.
Okay, yeah, then that's fine.
I'm currently calling it consumer. Basically, how much does their voice, and their voice could be like a YouTuber or a writer or an actual website, line up with the voice of you as a consumer or of the average consumer? Because that means way more than just are they pushing an agenda, right?
Yeah.
That means their voice is, they are speaking with me or for me, or they are not.
Yeah, it's basically how much weight their voice carries to the average consumer.
Yes.
Which absolutely, go for it.
Cerberus, and I want you guys to expand on it, by the way, but I do want the initial thoughts.
Okay, because this was a conversation I actually had at the start of Gamergate with somebody about actually doing this in an exact sort of carbon copy of the idea that you codified here, but I didn't actually ever get around to that because I'm a lazy bum. So I'm totally for it. I'm just wondering how it would you'd actually go about sort of like making sure it was as infallible as possible, to actually, codify those sort of things without any sort of like internal sort of corruption, or how would it be moderated or edited or?
So here's my thought on that. First things first. Any system's going to be gamed, right? And you can do your best to prevent it, but any system is going to be gamed. That should prevent you from implementing a system, right? People will find a way to game it. But with that said, I actually edited the document to talk about how I want to handle it. And the workflow would basically be, and this needs a lot of work, but this is my initial thought. So when you submit a rating for a website or a YouTuber or a writer, that rating gets held for moderation, right? It's visible on the website, but it does not count towards their overall rating, right? Their positive, neutral, or negative rating. But it's there for people to see. And then a moderator will go in and moderate that rating, right? And when they moderate it, they'll have to take into account the history of this person posting it. Is it all negative, right? Is it all zeros? Probably not something you want, right? Probably not something that's good. Is it all positives? Probably not something that's good. You know what I mean? And then, they'll either say this is good or this is bad. Once there's a 60% approval rating, it'll be moved out of moderation and into, it'll start counting towards the overall stats. And if it never reaches that, it never moves out of moderation, right? Or if everybody votes and it doesn't hit the 60% mark, it'll just fall off and it'll be thrown into the archived bucket. Still there to be visible, but basically on a different part of the website.
It's the tag. It's the tag from like Know Your Meme that says this is currently up for review.
Yes, essentially exactly that.
Mm.
And then, so now somebody asked, well, where do these moderators come from? So initially there's going to be a few moderators, right? Like me and other people I know I can trust that aren't going to shield the shit out of it. And then as people post ratings, they'll start getting clout, quote unquote, right? And then when they have enough clout, the system will automatically promote them to a moderator. And you get clout by having your ratings approved, right? So you rate more, you show you're a good Samaritan on the site, and you'll slowly get moderator privileges.
What you should do is people should comment specifically on a specific genre. If they were a moderator, you should get like a sort of couple of questions asked at the beginning of, why you're here and what type of games you want to rate. Because there's no point somebody who hates racing games, rating a racing game.
Oh, not games. Rating the game websites or the game writers.
Or not the game writers, but the article writers and stuff like that.
Yeah, the article writers and the article websites.
Are you familiar with the website Rate My Professor?
Yeah, I have seen that. Sorry, I got confused with something else for a second then that I was thinking of, which was my original idea, which was actually reviewers reviewing games as well. And building up a reputation score based on what they were reviewing, how they were reviewing it, which would be peer reviewed by, But yeah, sorry, I got lost in my own idea.
Fair enough. This idea is basically Rate My Professor for games media, game journalist.
Yeah, no, I've seen that. That's yeah.
Which I think is an absolutely excellent idea. And with that, you could even move into other. Like I told him earlier, like I told Code earlier, you could move into other journalistic aspects.
Oh, definitely. Right now I want to focus on games just because the consumer feels like they have no voice. And this could be like a central place for them to have a voice, right? And if it's implemented properly, the writers will want to get involved in the community because they'll have a vested interest in policing this community. You know what I mean? Because they won't want shills making them look bad. You know what I mean? And then it becomes a tool that they can use to judge how their community views them, where their weaknesses are, where their strengths are. If they choose to ignore it, that is a choice they're making. But the data will be there for that.
Hmm.
And then, there will also be overall admins, like myself and other people. But admins will be community voted every year. So they'll cycle, maybe every 6 months, I don't know yet, but they'll cycle in and out. And people will get to vote in. The community will get to vote in the new admins. And then admins can override moderators. Admins can, you can still flag something as a rating as spam, right? Even after it gets through moderation, people miss stuff, you know what I mean? And then the admins would be responsible for reviewing that. And then the other points I had to help curb the gaming the system, as I wrote. Non-ratings, people who rate anonymously will have their IP logged, but not made publicly available, and they will be notified that their IP is being logged. The reason being is this will ensure you can only rate that subject once from that IP address, right? Which will help cut down on the shilling. And the non-ratings won't carry the same rating or the same weight. So maybe they'll carry only a 50%.
It sounds And that sounds like Rotten Tomatoes and Rate My Professor slammed together.
Yes, exactly. Um, because ultimately you want it to be trustworthy. So yeah, anon ratings won't carry the same weight. Maybe they only carry 50% of the weight. And then users who choose to be non-anon, so you can link it to your Steam account or your Twitter account or Xbox Live or whatever, they'll carry full weight on their ratings. Plus, I'll implement a system where if, the ratings will basically be curated over like the course of an hour. So if somebody just goes through and bots down somebody, all those ratings will just be basically averaged out to one rating when it finally gets to the final rating. Does that make sense?
Mm-hmm.
Mm-hmm.
To stop people from botting.
Yeah.
Thoughts on that? You think that'll help keep the shilling out? At least down?
Definitely down. You're going to get shilling regardless of what you do, so...
Yeah, you just have to factor it in.
Yeah. Which it sounds like you've done.
I'm
Yeah.
trying to. What's been frustrating about all this is I've reached out to a lot of journalists, especially anti-Gamergate journalists, and they all hate the idea. They just ignore me. And I don't know why. I mean, I guess I do know why, but it's frustrating. Because if you hate it as written, tell me why.
Who's actually giving you any sort of feedback on it
Well,
from that side?
Rami doesn't like it or Rami doesn't like it because he says, well, the only people who are going to use it are people who have something negative to say. Well, that's not true for IMDb, Rotten Tomato, Rate My Professor, right? So that's just a load of shit. Stephen Totillo, however you say his last name, got me on Skype and said he doesn't like it because the system can be gamed.
Well, Totillo is one of the ones over at... What is he? He's either Kotaku or Polygon. I can't remember
It's
which.
Kotaku.
Yeah, which we obviously know what... Because you're pro Gamergate, he thinks this is pro Gamergate, and he's automatically going to hate it.
Yeah, which is frustrating. Most everybody else ignored me, though Niche Gamer loves the idea, as does Archon. Thought it was a great idea.
If you get hooked up with if you can get hooked up with Archon, you can definitely get some steam going.
I'm actually going to want to talk to him about this more closely as I get a prototype built. But his actual tweet to me was... Let me see if I can find it again. Where'd you go?
See, it's this kind of stuff that I wish would get more attention than the shit that the constant fucking echo chambers that we've created even on our own side,
Agreed. Where the fuck is this tweet? Oh, and Eric Kane said, let me think about it. Or let me think on it. Which is a fair response, right? Read it over and spin on it. Archon said, I love it. This is something we wanted to do a long time ago as a Metacritic competitor. Metacritic plus Read the Critic.
I mean, because essentially Metacritic is probably one of the best ideas in the ratings kind of industry.
Yeah.
It's just an aggregator. It doesn't really, Metacritic itself has no real opinion per se. It has no real opinion.
Yes, exactly. And this is as a concept, though it's really not aggregating, right? I mean, it is, but it's aggregating all on its own website.
Right.
I thought it was a good idea. I wish more journalists would respond to me and tell me how they feel about it.
I wish more people would fucking respond to anyone. I think when this fucking first started, there was a real sort of collective drive for people to work together, sharing Twitter handles and things like that, and that's just really fucking disappeared.
Yeah. 3 weeks I went from 200 followers to about 600 followers, and now nothing.
Really, I'm at 296. I can't even hit 300.
I don't know how I got so many followers, but I did.
Yeah, it's frustrating. What's happened is they tend to ignore anybody they haven't placed on a pedestal, and that frustrates me. because I think I have a good idea here. Here. What am I from fucking Boston? I think I have a good idea here. And I would really love more feedback from people.
Boston.
Like pulling teeth trying to get it.
Well, I really think if we'd have got fucking, let's try and get one of these bastards in here. Let's at least try and fucking solidify an environment where people will come and listen. We'll get them the one time with the one guy, or maybe we won't. Maybe they'll just disappear. Maybe they'll then look for the next fucking fix. They're all like junkies sometimes, especially, the ones that populate the chat with a load of shit. God, I just wish more people would, stop jumping on bandwagons.
I'm with you. I call it rubbernecking syndrome.
Oh shit! I maybe should have watched South Park tonight.
Why?
Tonight may have been a Gamergate episode. I don't know.
Why do you say may have been?
Because I am seeing a post that someone favorited on TweetDeck. It says, "Thank you, based Trey Parker. Thank you, based Matt Stone. Single-handedly saving us from the SJW politically correct menace."
Oh, it was probably their social justice episode that they did.
Yeah, because it was the transgender thing was the start of it.
Yeah. I hate this political correctness thing. I hate this fucking trigger warning bullshit. I sent out a tweet this morning, something along the lines of, my kids aren't special snowflakes, and the sooner they learn to deal with themselves, the sooner they can be successful at life. And that is how I feel. My children are special snowflakes to me and to me alone. In the real world, they are not fucking special snowflakes. They're just fucking human beings who are trying to survive. You know what I mean? And quit fucking telling kids they are, because it pisses me off. That's my little rant on that.
Yeah.
There were certain things that I'd never even... Oh, sorry, go on.
No, go ahead.
There were certain things that I never fucking came across until Gamergate. I mean, triggering, that was one thing. The amount of rancid shit on Tumblr, that was another thing. All these various sort of buzzwords. I'd heard of cisgender before, and I still don't fucking understand why we use that or why people use that. And it's just this desperate attempt for people to bracket themselves. People are so, even in the internet age now, so desperate to belong to something.
That's what it is, right? They want to be... Alright, somebody just messaged me on Facebook. Oh boy, that Grayson article. Kotaku is trolling you guys. Damn.
Yeah?
I think they released another Gamers Are Dead bullshit.
Oh boy. And make sure my ad block's on, and it is.
It's just getting fucking annoying.
The messy story behind YouTubers taking money for game
there we
coverage
go.
by Nathan Grayson.
Yep. That's it.
Yep.
I feel like we should talk about that, but I don't know what else there is to say about it.
Yeah, they're fighting to stay relevant in a dying industry.
Well, it did happen, right? That PR firm told reviewers they had to sign a contract to review Shadows of Mordor, and they couldn't say anything bad about the game. So that did happen. But YouTubers stood up and said, yes, it did happen.
Mm-hmm.
And this is how we feel about it. Like Boogie stood up and said, yeah, I accepted it, but I also made sure I had an out clause, so if I decided I didn't like the game or I didn't want to review it, I could get out of the contract. Because that usually cost me money.
This is dropped only on American Kotaku, hasn't it?
Yep.
Yeah, because I haven't got it here. Kotaku UK is even shitter than Kotaku.com.
I don't know if that's possible.
Oh, it is. It's run by an SJW, and it's just the articles are terrible.
Well, that's just.
I can't even get to the American fucking Kotaku.
It's just like.
There we go. Stop being a dick. I'm surprised he's even allowed to bloody write anymore.
He should be allowed to. I mean, not that he shouldn't be allowed to, but he should be still writing at Kotaku. They needed to take fucking action.
Oh, Stephen Tortilla Chip, or whatever his name is, he's an absolute ass.
Yes, he is.
Yep.
You know who's also a bigger ass is Adam fucking Sessler.
Adam Sessler's lost his relevance. I mean, ever since X-Play went off the air with him on the show, he's just become kind of irrelevant, period.
He's just a fucking... Oh, sorry. He's a dude... I don't want to call him a douchebag. He's a fucking twat.
Yeah!
I mean, he is a twat. I'm not ashamed.
Yeah! God. Why aren't more people listening to this? We've got proper pronunciation. Fuck. Have you seen this article? It's written so fucking
Terribly.
catty. It's catty. It's catty and shit.
Yeah, it's...
You know, like before Middle Earth, Shadow of Mordor release, a curious thing happened. Fuck off. Fuck off.
I'm with you. Fuck off.
Did somebody sleep with an indie developer?
Oh, that was so annoying as well. That woman at the IGDF or IFD or whatever the fuck it was today, going, Gamergate is misogyny. Yeah, she was, no, she was going on about the marketing as well. The Intel pool being, siding with misogynists.
The University of Advancement of Technologies.
Yeah, something like that. Yeah.
Sold advertising, and she went off on them.
Oh yeah, I know. I think she had previously gone off on Intel as well.
She has.
Previously.
I don't know who she thinks she's helping.
Oh, I came across PewDie Pie the other day because for some reason he was reviewing. He should not do any Let's Plays. He is awful. He is fucking irritating.
Isn't he?
He's funny when he's not doing Let's Play. I watched like his compilation thing, and there were a couple of things on there that made me laugh. But when he was doing Alien Isolation, he was, what are you doing? He had no idea even any of the backstory of the game.
He's not. This will draw me a lot. Well, I don't know if there's anybody actually that's a fan of PewDiePie watching. I'm sorry. He is the most shit person that you could find to do game commentary.
Mm-hmm.
Because, I mean, even watching him... Because I used to watch him a decent bit when he was still somewhat funny. When he'd play... and do the classic just play a horror game with play an indie horror game with face cam and just watch him get scared. That's funny. That's at least decent comedy to see him get scared and like curl up in the fetal position in his chair when he got startled.
Oh, the best one I found was the guy that did. I watched him do the PT video. PT Silent Hill.
Yeah.
And I can't remember his name, and people were like, "Oh, you haven't heard of him before?" I was like, "No, I don't really just go on, YouTube and watch people like." This is the first time I've actually sort of got involved with sort of pundits. Oh, is it Markiplier?
Markiplier, yeah.
Yeah, I watched his and he was really funny. But I mean, I was involved kind of in the Battlefield days. But yeah. But you can get I don't know why he's got 31. How can 31 million people find him entertaining?
He actually holds the Guinness World Record for most YouTube subscribers. I am not even kidding. Guinness actually gave him the plaque for it.
Wow.
Who is this? Sorry, I wasn't paying attention.
PewDiePie.
What?
Yeah. Like he did.
Doesn't he make 4 million?
Yeah, he's a millionaire. He makes like $4 million a year according to Forbes.
Wow.
And that's just ad revenue.
Off of Let's Play?
Yeah.
Wow.
I'm in the wrong fucking business, guys.
Yeah, seriously.
Hey, you were pumping 62,000 on Coke and FF.
I
You,
was.
you, you've done it, man. I can barely scrape what would be about $23,000 a year at the moment, and I'm overqualified as fuck. But there we go. Well, I'm overqualified in humanities, which is no fucking help whatsoever.
Yeah, I push it way more than that, but that's okay. But still, it's not $4 million a year. It's not even close to a million. It's not
I
even
know.
Yeah.
200,000. So I'm in the wrong fucking line of business.
I mean,
Okay, all right. I'll give you that. I'll give you
uh,
that. I'll give you that. Come
here's the thing that I've kind of find to differentiate them because PewDiePie just plays a game and screams and yells at it, while Markiplier, if you actually watch a video to the end, can be funny throughout, and at least mostly funny throughout, and then at the end he will give an honest to God commentary on it. Like he will flat out say, "This game was not scary. It made me jump, but that's a natural reaction to something surprising me."
on. Yeah.
And he can be funny without the videos because he can do sketch comedy.
Yeah.
Yeah, I don't
But
watch any of those Let's Play people.
There is one channel that I will suggest if you kind of like that stuff. Watch the youtube.com/let's play. It's the Achievement Hunter channel, which is a channel based off of Rooster Teeth, and I love me some Rooster Teeth.
really, I used to work with a guy who now works at Rooster Teeth. You know Gavin?
Oh yeah.
Yeah,
Oh
I used
yeah.
to be his boss.
Oh Jesus Christ.
Yeah, I once hit him in the face by accident. I made his nose bleed.
Oh God, that must have been like Old Faithful going off.
Uh, yeah, pretty much. It was like someone let off a blunderbuss.
You know, I just saw
Uh,
this. This was posted a couple days ago. Mitch Gamercast, episode 20, Gamergate powered by Intel Inside. Is Intel advertising on Mitch Gamer now?
Nah,
Nah.
Yes, are they?
I doubt it.
Let me take a look. And turn off ad block.
Unless that's just poking fun at Gamasutra.
I think it is because I don't see any ads for Intel.
I'm gonna ask him. It's pretty freaking awesome at getting back. Intel sponsoring. Or is that tongue in cheek?
I just want to say a big thank you to the two guys that are actually in the chat. Because, damn it, we need more people like you.
Yes,
Yeah,
thank you.
definitely.
But most people, I've been saying it all along, people don't want moderate. But thank you for enjoying the moderate talk. We're not screaming and blowing conspiracy theories, so it's probably pretty boring.
Yeah, sadly we're not going to pull in any anti-Gamergate crowd and just have all three of us gang up on them.
To be honest, though, I find this so much more entertaining.
I'm with you. I am totally. I'd rather get people's real, honest thoughts on the subject rather than their shock jock thoughts on the subject.
Mm. Well, I haven't listened to. I listened to about 5 minutes of one of the Women of Gamergate things, and as I think I said to you, it just sounded like a massive circle jerk. I didn't think it was actually going anywhere.
Yeah,
That was.
I don't really enjoy their streams.
Well, I mean, have you listened to more? Because I don't know what the hell they talk about.
I listened to one for like a half hour and I got pretty bored.
Yeah, I used to listen a lot to King of Pole. I still listen to Internet Aristocrat because his stuff is still at least fascinating and engaging.
Has he actually done anything that isn't a live stream though recently, apart from his last video that was
Other than the timeline, no.
See,
Which
that
is
slowed down.
sad. Yeah.
We're still waiting for the next camera lady. Yeah.
Oh, she's been going off on Devi.
She's been going on and off and on random people, including Devi as well.
Yeah. By the way, Brandon from Niche Gamer said it was tongue in cheek.
Uh, Tell him to pimp our damn show.
Actually, maybe I'll see if he wants to join. When are we gonna do this again?
Okay. The earlier time was a godsend, and it's still 3:30 in the morning here. So, yeah, if we could do for that 8:30 slot again for you guys, that would be great.
That is fine with me.
Okay. When do we want to go?
I can't do Friday this week.
I can't. The only day that I can't do it is Tuesday, because I have class that day from 6 to 7:30, and by that time I'm dead.
What about doing another weekend roundup?
I was
If we go,
Sunday. I'm just looking at my class schedule to make sure I don't have a class at 8:30.
did you say Sunday or Monday?
Sunday.
Sunday, yeah, Sunday. If we did this,
I do have an 8:30 to 9 student tutoring on Sunday, but I can do 9 p.m., which is not quite 9:30, but it's in the middle.
that's okay, as long as we don't run till 5, because we let that last one run far too long. I think the sort of format and what we're actually talking about works pretty well is kind of like a midweek roundup, and then kind of like an end of weekend roundup kind of thing, because the weekend, if some shit drops on Friday, it's bound to last the whole of the weekend.
As it always tends to happen.
Mm.
By the way, I'm asking Brandon if he wants to join us next Sunday. Or this Sunday. From Niche Gamer.
Let's see if we can actually get some decent conversation added to the already blowing my own trumpet here, but I think this conversation is a lot. I mean, I enjoyed the other stream that I was in as well, but I think just this format works quite well, just having a sort of spitball sort of conversation.
No, I agree.
Not with too many people, not with it drowns out. Yeah, I was. It was Robin Gethin. His stream. It was really good. It was actually and he kept on rolling people in and out of it, and it was a good laugh. It was. It detracted a bit from Gamergate, I think, because we were all just having a bit of a laugh at some things and having some poignant conversations later on. But as a Gamergate sort of thing, it lacks the shock jock, which I think is good. So.
I agree, and I'm glad Two Hap enjoys it. He said he actually enjoys it, thinks we're way more interesting. He doesn't like King of Paul and the like, and I'm with him. Unfortunately, it's the general public much prefers Shock Jock, as we know. But that's okay. I enjoy bullshitting with you guys.
Yeah, we're the NPR of the Gamergate streams.
Exactly.
Oh yeah, we're definitely low budget. That's good, man.
Low budget.
But
fairly boring, but that's okay.
But the video managed to clock 76 views after the fact.
Yeah.
Which I thought was pretty good. The original one that you guys put out got to 110.
Been out a lot longer.
Has it? When was the?
Well, it's been out almost.
Yeah.
Longer, so.
Hmm. You need to get some flashy, background on your channel code.
No.
You need to get like 360 no scoping and Doritos and.
Oh God.
You need to get
start every stream with a montage parody. I actually found one that just makes me laugh like an idiot uncontrollably.
Oh.
Just go to YouTube, look up Forklift Simulator MLG, and you'll find it. It should be the first result.
Oh, did you? Oh, what was the one with the? Have you seen? If I see that, have you seen the one with the farming simulator that was MLG'd?
Yes.
Yes, with the nuclear silos and.
God.
Somali pirates.
Wonderful.
They're already dead.
Games MLG.
Huh?
How are these games made?
Oh, they're not. That's the point.
Yeah.
They're just.
There's an entire subreddit devoted to these. It's our montage parodies.
Really?
Yeah.
That sounds awesome. I need to check that out. My mate would go crazy for that. He loves batshit stuff.
Because that's all it is. It's just that Because if you look at the scope of MLG, it's very, very tiny. Like what actually qualifies as MLG esports stuff, but it's just hilarious to watch this stuff.
I am so gonna have to check this out then. Hey, did you see Based Mom tweeted the flowers we all sent her?
Yeah, I saw that right as the
Another-
stream started.
Yeah, Nero and others from Gamergate sent me wonderful notes, tweets, and exquisite flowers, all deeply appreciated. XOXO Mom. She's so base.
Yes.
She is very base.
I don't know what else to say, but she is. You know what I mean? She just.
I think we should start, by the way, the show next week with one of the Snoop Dogg Smoke Weed parody video songs.
Oh,
I love
God.
those, especially the anime ones. They just, and I know they're just so funny.
You know what?
Smoke weed every day.
I know exactly what this stream is missing, guys.
What's that?
I'm gonna pull it up. You'll
Tits?
Mountain Dew.
Mountain Dew. No, we are missing
Tits with Mountain Dew.
Or get the fuck out. What are we missing? I'm trying to find something good. Something that.
I tried to get Socks to play this video on the end of her thing of her videos a while back. I'm just going to post it in the chat. Just because it won't let me post the link in the chat. How annoying.
I think we need some light jazz music though. This is Billy Joel.
Careful, we'll get taken down for copyright infringement.
No, we got 30 seconds worth.
Yeah, that's true.
That
do
was
that.
22 seconds, which is why I stopped it. I was just picking on Liana with the jazz music in her video.
I've never actually watched her videos.
It is hard to watch.
Oh, Cerberus, here's that montage parody.
Oh, thank you. I'll send you this. Where are you sending it?
I threw it into the Hangout chat.
Oh, I'll throw this in the Hangout chat as well.
X60, 360 forklifting MLG. Alright, hold on. I'm gonna share my fucking screen.
It depends if they got Skrillex as the song. I see that Farming Simulator 360 crop rotation is the second video down on the suggestions.
We are gonna watch.
This is a good.
Hold on, I'm gonna share my screen. Oh,
Okay, cool.
we are.
This is the.
All right,
Yeah,
we're gonna watch the.
How would my share?
We're gonna watch.
Shares?
We're also gonna watch the Snoop Dogg one after this.
Oh,
It's
no.
only like a minute.
I'll throw my mic.
Are we? Is my screen shared yet? Can somebody look at the YouTube and let me know?
It is.
Yeah, it is. Yeah,
All right, here we
I'm
go.
gonna mute my mic.
Fuck. This is the shit I'd watch when I was fucking high on coke. Fuck. What the fuck am I watching?
I love that one. That one makes me
All
laugh.
right.
Yeah,
Watch
every time.
Code. Watch the second one down. Watch the second one down after that. We might as
Oh.
well.
The second one down? Okay.
We might as-
This one,
not. It's on the YouTube one. Yeah, Farming Simulator. Yeah.
mad skill, no plow.
Yeah.
Oh, fucking ads. I think I know what that is. Hold on. I think I know what Extra Solar is. That's a fucking Silver String Media, I think. Okay, hold on. I do like this. Of course they're not fine. Is this Mass Effect?
Yeah, it's
Yeah.
an E3.
That was great.
God.
Okay, gotta close it out with the music video at the bottom.
Oh wait, before I do that, I need to stop sharing my screen for a second because I want to look up a video.
Oh, that Extra Solar thing. That was that
Extra
was that.
Solar is, I believe, a Silver String Media thing.
Yeah.
Yeah, X-Toller, yeah, that is through that because I saw the business manager of Silverstring was shelling that out.
Yeah, they were involved in its production and development.
I will say that as shitty as the practice as a Silverstring is, it's a cool idea.
Mm.
It
It
looks
is.
interesting.
It's just going about it completely the wrong way.
Oh yeah, and especially they're trying to sponsor it and get it shelled out at this time when they know there's nothing but hate going out towards them basically.
Well, they've tried to do damage control, which just makes it look like they're trying to hide something.
Yeah.
I think
Never
they
gonna
are.
work.
I don't know what yet, but I do think they are trying to hide something. The
Oh,
reason I wanted to
yeah.
start sharing my screen is I need to look at. I don't know my Gmail password, so I needed to look it up. I changed it when all this shit started happening.
No, I can imagine.
Why are you telling me it's incorrect? That's not good. Why is my password incorrect? Oh, fuck. That is the wrong password.
Oh well.
This is scary. I don't know my Gmail password.
Guys, I will say this: it's been fun. I've got some reading to do, and I've got to. I gotta get some sleep for tomorrow. So.
Then
Yeah.
Then maybe we will start the next one with this video.
All right.
And
So.
That's fine.
Up a video that I wanted you guys to watch, but I will send it through Skype.
All right. So. Thanks for having me on, you guys. I will be back here on Sunday at we said 8:30 on Sunday.
9.
9 on Sunday. Okay.
9.
I will see you guys then.
Yes.
Yep. Take care, buddy.
All right, Cerberus.
Yes.
We'll start the next one
Yes,
with
you.
this one. See you, Jerry. We'll start the next one with this video. If he's gonna leave, I don't like going on without everybody.
That's fine. No, we're a 3-man unit. We'll stop there.
So we will start the next one with this video. I love these videos.
Cool.
Cool.
Okay.
All right,
Right.
Sunday.
Yep. Take care, buddy.
Yeah, and I'll see ya.
Bye.